What's going on, team? It is so good to have you back. Today, we're going to be talking about the reason you don't sell more. And it's not because you don't know the good, cool pickup line to use, or it's not because you don't have the right gadgets or the right bibbity boops. That's not it. Most people get it wrong and they don't actually know why they're struggling in sales versus the people that seem to just get it right, especially at a high level. So what am I talking about? What is it that gets it right? Today, we're going to be talking about your effort and your care. Because if you don't put in the effort and you don't truly care, you're just going to keep on struggling. You're just going to keep on getting it wrong, like I see so many people do all the time. So let's get into it. Now, I got a little bit of a confession to make with you here. There's a reason I'm making this video today. Over the past couple weeks, I kept getting a particular hot button of mine pushed on what people think is and isn't important when it comes to the world of selling. And the button was pushed, and I had to do this. If nothing else, just makes me feel better. So I promise you, pay attention. If you think this way, we're going to fix it. Now, before we get into the actual things of how you're going to sell more and what you need to do and what we're going to be talking about, I need you to comprehend what your mindset needs to actually be. What do I mean by that? Most people, when they're in a sale, if they're thinking about anything, which by the way, if you're thinking about something during the sale, you shouldn't be thinking about anything. All you should be thinking about is the sale itself and having a conversation. That's all it is conversations. But anyways, most people start to think about, how can I sell this one thing, or what's the best way, or if I discount it, versus what you need to be thinking about is a little catchphrase of mine that I have coined, and that is double date selling.
That phrase is trademark, not to be used outside tradition of Ricky Bobby.
Now, what do I mean by that? When you're really doing well at sales, when you're really going to get repeat business, and shocker, repeat business and referral business is really where big selling comes from. Anyways, more on that here in a minute. Is the way you need to think about it is not immediately what's in front of you and what they're thinking in front of you and that sale in front of you. What you need to be thinking as when they go out with friends later on. So let's say they're having a sale with you today on Monday, and Friday they're going to be out on a double date with their best friends. And let's say it's an air conditioning unit you sold them, and they're having a sit down. Are they going to be telling their friends, and this is how it's going to go with most, yeah, we had to buy an air conditioner. It sucked. This was the price, right? That's how most sales are going to go. And sales is honestly, it's a horrible teacher. A lot of people I see get a sale, and it's just because they got in the way. So they repeat a horrific process because it worked before. Versus if you're really selling well, what I want you to ask yourself on that last sale, so let's say again, you sold an air conditioning unit on Monday, because again, it's expensive, right? And they go on a double date on Friday. What the conversation should look like is a story, meaning, man, our air conditioning went out. We were really nervous. We called such and such company. This guy, Marcus, came out, and man, he really did this, that, and the other. And they start talking about their experience.
But that was awesome.
When they're talking about their experience versus the pain, you actually helped them and you actually sold them. And the large majority of times, people talk about things that they purchased or bought, right? And it's about a pain or how much it cost versus what the experience was. Think about this. If someone went through and told you about an experience, you want to take part in it and you want to go get involved and have that same experience yourself. This is where the real keep up with the Joneses go. So what I need you to think about, the mindset I need you to start thinking about is, are you a double date night seller, right? So when they get done with you, are they going to go out and talk to their friends about you and talk about the experience? That's what we need to get into, and that's what we're going to go over, and you are going to start selling in that manner right now today.
You can do it! You can do it! You can do it!
All right, so the first thing you need to start implementing, step number one, is you need to know the thing. And what I mean by that is you need to know the actual product or the service that you sell. You don't need to learn the lines about how to sell it, or hey, here's the gig, here's the gimmick, or set it up this way when they say yes to that. Like, stop it. You just need to know the actual thing that you're doing. And some of you may be sitting here thinking, well, man, you don't know how detailed my thing is. You don't know how hard it is. Would you rather go to a doctor that went to school or didn't go to school? Because even if they went to school, they could still be stupid and suck and not be good at their job. But if you went to a doctor that had absolutely nothing, you wouldn't just be like, hey, you know what? Have surgery on my body because you know how to talk at me real good.
Nope.
That ain't what gets it done, son. So when I talk about knowing the thing, to me personally, that sets up a lot of relief. Because if you actually truly know the product that you speak about, you now get to be authentic and you just get to have a conversation. So if you're nervous when you're selling or when you're talking to your customers or when you're doing your thing, if you don't have knowledge of what you're selling, you can't have an authentic conversation. And if you do have knowledge and you're still not having authentic conversations, it's because you're being too daggum scared. You think it's about all the other things and all the other crap that you've read into. Those are lies. Just talk about what you know, and I promise you it's the authenticity that works. Let me give you an example because you probably don't believe me. Have you heard of a fellow named Joe Rogan? Do you want to know why his podcast is so successful? Well, I mean, it's one of the reasons anyway, but that dude is authentic, right? Love him or hate him, not trying to search for opinions here. You can't say that he's not authentic. He doesn't invite you onto his show unless he genuinely wants to have conversation with you. He's not going to do it for views, this, that, or the other. If views come, great, but that's not why he does it. He's being authentic, and shocker, because of that, it's successful. So, know your thing. If you don't know your thing, get out there and go know it. Point blank, period, end of story. And if you do know it, stop being so dadgum nervous. It's not about the gadgets that you do and don't have. It's not about the specific lines. It's about speaking to what you know and being authentic.
Case is talking to us. I'm a peacock, Captain. You gotta let me fly on this one.
All right, number 2, you need to do it yourself. You need to feel the experience. Now, what do I mean by that? Like, if you're out there selling cars, I'm not telling you to go buy a brand new car, but like, you should know what the experience is like. You should take yourself through it. Because at the end of the day, like we talked about, if you're going to do a double date night selling and you're trying to sell an experience that they go and talk to about their friends, then you need to know what the experience is like yourself. Because let me tell you, just like being authentic about what you know, it's authentic if you genuinely know what they are going through. And they can see if you genuinely know and care about what they are going through. So let me give you an example of this. You do not know what matters to somebody. It's 1,000 little things. And 99.99% about it is all just the vibe and how you come across. What do I mean by that? One of my good buddies, he's a personal trainer bodybuilder fella, right? So let's say you were wanting to come do some personal training. You got my buddy and you got me. Now let me tell you right now, if both of us had our shirts off, you're 100% going to be looking at him more than me, and you're going to be like, that dude knows his stuff. He clearly knows what he's doing, and he does it himself, so he knows the experience. We don't need to talk about what you say about me because it hurt my feelings, and I have a fragile ego, so let's just not go there.
How does that make you feel? Well, kind of bad.
But nonetheless, right off the bat, you can tell that he is more into it, that he cares more, that he probably knows it in more detail. And even if we do know it in the same detail, he actually does the thing. He actually goes through it at a higher level than I do.
You think you're better than me? You think you're better than me? You think you're better than me?
Number 3, You need to speak to others about what you know and feel. So in other words, you know it, you go through it, you've experienced yourself. So now the third thing, you need to talk to others about the things you know and experience, right? And I don't just mean in your work setting, I mean outside your work setting as well, but especially in your work setting, if you're immediately in the moment with a sale and you're going through somebody, you just need to talk about what you truly know and what you truly feel, because that's what comes across. Remember, this whole thing, you've got to be authentic, and it has to be something that you care about them and their experience. And if you truly care about their experience, from point A to point B, you're going to care about every single thing that happens in every step of the way. You're not going to hit my hot button and say, yeah, but, or this is okay. Hot button. Don't accept things because you don't think they're important enough. If it's on the list, if it's in the process, it's flipping important.
Wow.
So a perfect example, back in the day when I was working out at Automotive Center, we had this lady come in and we just dominated the whole thing. Like, it was great. Gave her a great experience. She was in and out. We were good pricing, just like the whole thing. Like, we just absolutely nailed it. And I knew for a fact that we were definitely doing double date night selling. But when she wrote a review, which was 5 stars, thank you, I would have never guessed the thing that was important to her. But because we cared, the thing that was important to her was done well, and this is what mattered. Blew my mind. It wasn't how we said it. It wasn't our price. It wasn't the time we got her in and out. It wasn't all the things that you would probably think that we actually measured on a spreadsheet to track your numbers to see if you're being successful. She wrote, they had very clean bathrooms, which is important to me. I will be back and I will tell my friends. The cleanliness of the bathrooms. Now I'm going to tell you, if you've probably been into an automotive center, the cleanliness of their bathrooms is probably not something that you get. And that's probably why their business is just so-so or average. What thing in your sale do you think is not important? Do you think it's not important to do a good investigation and ask questions? Do you think it's not important that when they walked into your store, it was clean? Like, these things matter. And when I talk about the bathrooms, there was nobody in the sales position, rather the manager, me, or the people below me, that didn't have to do that. So in the moment, probably, I don't know who it was, but whoever was cleaning the bathrooms that day or night before, whatever the case may be, was probably not something enjoyable.
This is the worst.
But they understood the importance of it. And because they understood the importance of it, somebody had a phenomenal experience and they went and told not just their friends, but the whole world about it. So you don't know what matters, but if you genuinely care and you just talk about what you know and you care about the experience because you felt it yourself and you just want to repeat that over and over, like that's what your life is. This is what I know. This is what I care about. That's what step number 3 is. Step number 3 is putting into action step 1 and 2. In repetition, in all things. Lastly, and it's the part of the sale that, shocker, if you want to look at sales statistics, most salespeople don't do this, and that is offer your help. So number 4 is offer your help, AKA ask for the sale. And yes, shocker, whatever stats you want to look up, like they're either 80s or 90% of the time, they don't actually ask for the sale. But again, we're going for the experience, so you don't actually have to ask for the sale, you just have to offer the help, meaning when you're asking for a sale, you're given options and you're just asking which one of 3 options. So if you have done the knowledge base and you just had a genuine, authentic conversation with them, if you've shown them that, hey, look, I do this thing too. I do the workouts, I do the meal preps, I do all the things. I feel you, and I'll prove that I feel it to you because even my bathroom's clean. And now knowing all of this and educating you and so on and so forth, which one of my things do you want to buy?
I wasn't asking, I was telling.
Again, not do you want to buy, it's which one of my things do you want to buy? And when I say offer help, it's genuinely offering them help because of everything you've done through the experience point of the sale has not been about money. Because if you make it about money, you can always lose. Whether it's too much, too little, doesn't matter. But if you're gonna sell the best experience, everything matters, right? When you think about your best experience situations, the whole thing was good. Like, you couldn't have a good experience if the seat you sat in at the movie theater had gum that stuck to your jeans. Like, that wasn't a good experience. Don't care how good the movie was, how good the popcorn was. I got bubble gum, I got some juicy fruit on my butt. Like, it don't matter at that point, right? So every little thing has to matter. And if the whole experience has been great, bam, 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 here's my money, take it, please. By the way, you did a phenomenal job of double date night selling. And when I go meet with Martha Sue and Betty Lou, I'm gonna go have all the conversations with them about how great and beautiful and wonderful your hair was. Hope you got good hair. If not, get better product. That's what I do.
That I'm custom made. I can't help it that I look good, smell good, can dance all night long. I can't help it.
So, last little example I want to give you, and I'm going to take a little bow and I'm going to bundle it up and I'm going to wrap it up and I'm going to give it to you. The best example of someone that has done this very well is going to be Paul from the Bible. In other words, the fellow that wrote the majority of the New Testament. If you want to look at who he is and how he did it and what he did, this is what he did. He knew scripture inside out, upside down, inside and forward, right? Definitely did. He obviously went out and did the thing. Like, he was in prisons, he was preaching in the streets, he was healing, he was raising, he was doing all the things. He definitely did it. You can't argue that. He did it. And he spoke to others about it. Didn't matter where he was. If he was in the prisons, he was in the streets. Again, we already talked about it. He was out there doing the thing, right? He was out there doing the thing. And he offered help. Like, even when he was in prison, hey, I'm going to send you my brother in Christ. Here's Timothy. He's like a son to me. Like, he did all of these steps. And would you call him successful? Absolutely. Did he bring a lot of people to Christ? Absolutely. Still doing it to this day, just from his written words, right? So you are going out there, you're building experiences, you're generally knowing the thing, and you're caring about people. Watch what happens. All of a sudden, your sales are going to skyrocket. Stop thinking that it's about all this stuff, or I got to do it right, or I got to say it right, because that's just absolutely a lie. It's what everybody teaches, but it's so wrong. You go to people that are great at what they do, and I'm telling you, it's not about the words that they use. It's about the feeling that they're giving off on the thing that they know and love and how they just want to help others. I promise you. So, I hope this video has been helpful to you. If it has, for real though, share it to a fella or a fellette near you. Seriously, don't just keep all this awesomeness to you, yourself, and I. Send it on down the road. And if you're sitting here thinking, man, this has been phenomenal, I would like to get this to my people, or maybe I want to get it to my manager to get to my people. Click in the link below. Let's get to know and let's have some conversations. In the meantime, until the next time, we'll see you on the next one.